My name is Samantha Nelson, and I'll be discussing the Weeping Woman and Guggenheim Museum. To start, let's visualize Pablo Picasso's Weeping Woman. Let's also look at Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture for the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum. By the age of 13, Picasso's skills are proficient, and he has exceeded well beyond his age. He discovers modern and contemporary art, and in 1907 specializes his paintings in Cubism and Surrealism, and is inspired by African tribal masks. His most common used form is Cubism. Cubism is fragmented, symbolic, avant-garde, began between 1907 and 1911, is deconstructive, used in architecture, sculpture, and paintings. Another form of art he uses is Surrealism. This is avant-garde, used in art and literature, unrealistic in terms of dreams and fantasies of what life should be like. Created between World War I and II, and is described as irrational juxtaposition of images, uncommon ideas, unnerving, illogical, and accesses the unconscious. Let's review the context behind the Weeping Woman. We see it as symbolic of the three relationships he had at one time. This multifaceted relationship was between his wife Olga and two mistresses, Marie and Dora. The motif in this painting is surrounded by tremendous pain and suffering, and universally, Picasso speaks to a time during the bombing in Spain in the Spanish Civil War. Next, let's talk about Frank Wright. He left his legacy as the greatest architect in America. His philosophy was to unify and cohere to the client's interests. His architecture was functional. He left his wife and children when he was 22 to venture around the world to build outside of domestic clients. Shortly after he left, an angry employee started a fire in his home and killed his whole family. This tragic loss inspired him to build for personal disposition. A form of architecture that Frank Lloyd Wright uses is functional. This is no fragment. Everything within a structure works as a whole. It is eloquent, humane, and a loop of designs are pieced together. Next, let's look at Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, designed and architected by Frank Lloyd Wright. This was created out of appreciation to freelance artists. Non-objective art was held in the museum. Integration of abstraction and functionality. It unifies the humane theme and experience for all guests. Restructured by various architects. An aesthetic is to contrast artwork and the building itself. It functions in two separate parts, the monitor and rotunda. The monitor is a steel-framed glass structure on the third level of the building, and the rotunda is a winding staircase with 3 levels leading tours from bottom to top. To conclude, which piece attracts more attention? Pablo Picasso's art is transferable. Solomon R. Guggenheim's museum is stationary. The comparison is not between two artists. The comparison is, the Weeping Woman is transferable in its two-dimensional form, and architecture is three-dimensional and is seen in its full picture when there is in-person interaction to appreciate all details. Thanks for listening.